Rise, do not deceive you, ladies and gentlemen. Advanced Warfare 2 might actually be happening. Advanced movement, Exo Zombies, it could all be happening in a few years' time, and I'm going to explain exactly why we're talking about this, as this became a massive rumor that started today from a credible insider called Ralph's Valve, who's been leaking everything about Modern Warfare 2 right from the end of 2021 up until now, and everything has seemed to come true. In a really shocking article, he says that Sledgehammer Games are developing a sequel to Advanced Warfare. Now, since we're talking about a rumor here, these are plans that are several years away, so there's all the chance that this could change or might not happen at all, so we've got to take this with a grain of salt. Diving into what he says, Sledgehammer Games aims to strip away from World War shooters and instead return to the battlegrounds of the future, ushering back in an era of advanced warfare on the now unified IW9 engine. Apparently, leading up to the release of Call of Duty Vanguard, Sledgehammer's narrative team originally had the desire to further explore the world of Vanguard and make several sequels involving Vanguard's cast of characters. From the very get-go, we could see that this was not going to be a good idea, and with Vanguard falling short of expectations, Sledgehammer was back at square one, tasked with pitching a new idea, entrusted with having something conceptually ready for executives to give the go-ahead. Sledgehammer brought to the table the topic of advanced warfare. If this rumor is true, then executives like that idea and they're willing to go with it in 2025. And between the three main developers now, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, they seem to have developed and separated into their own niches with setting, which I think is a very good idea. As Warzone continues to age, so will the strategies for bringing on fresh experiences to that playground, which could include their own futuristic twist on the Battle Royale formula. But regardless if we're going to see an Advanced Warfare 2 or not, Sledgehammer's next game is slated to release for 2025, which is only a year after Treyarch's premium title, which I'm really in two minds against, because I'd love to see a Treyarch game have 2 years of support like Modern Warfare 2 is going to get. Diving deeper into this, insider Tom Henderson also reported on this, but he said that he cannot yet corroborate if these claims are true, but it does make logical sense following a disappointing release of Vanguard. And if we look at this logistically, Sledgehammer Games have been releasing pretty poor Call of Duty games since 2017. World War II was a fairly well-received game by sales numbers go, but people clearly did not want another World War II game with Vanguard, and that's exactly what they've got. And I think at this point, Advanced Warfare 2 seems to be the only logical option. They simply can't do another World War II game, especially when it comes to reports that when Vanguard first released, Sledgehammer were planning to make 2 sequels to Vanguard. There is no way that would fly with the fans as well as Activision, because the sales numbers would just be too poor. I am really excited at the prospect of there being a futuristic Call of Duty game again, because I think it's been long enough now that we really want it back. And Advanced Warfare was a very fun game. It was the first exosuit era COD, and it really was a breath of fresh air for the franchise in terms of gameplay. It's fair to say that a lot of other people feel the same way as me. They are really interested in going away from boots on the ground and doing some sort of futuristic game again. Now, on top of all this, a fellow Call of Duty insider and leaker, the Ghost of Hope, says that he can confirm this is true from what he's heard. If Advanced Warfare 2 is going to be a thing in a few years' time, then of course, there's a very likely chance that there is going to be a sequel to Exo Zombies, which I just can't believe that we're going to be living in a world where the possibility of seeing a sequel to Exo Zombies could indeed happen. Am I saying we're going to see Oz, Lilith, and all those characters return? I don't think so. That ending was made in a way where there just does not really seem to be any continuation of that story. But how awesome would it be if there was like a reimagining of Advanced Warfare rather than it be a sequel, where we have everything that built up the foundations of Advanced Warfare, but told in a completely different universe where we have different characters. Therefore, we have a different explanation of how Exo Zombies came to be, and we have a completely different cast of characters, different maps, completely new system mechanics, because there was so much flawed in Exo Zombies that did not work, trying to replicate what Treyarch did but adding their own spin. It just did not work. I would love to see them have another go at creating something like Exo Zombies, really putting a lot of time and effort into it, as Exo Zombies was clearly a last minute decision because the game did not launch with zombies, and they were like, hang on a minute, we absolutely can't have a Call of Duty game without zombies. And so Exo Zombies was created in partnership with Raven Software, and it was a bit everywhere, but it was still quite a fun, entertaining mode. And I would love to see the concept of Exo Zombies return, but in a more fleshed out mode. Now, if I was going to be doing this, I would look at this and think, hang on a minute, there isn't really anything in Advanced Warfare that is truly iconic that they could do a full-on sequel with. The characters are pretty forgettable. The main villain in Advanced Warfare cannot come back for reasons that we don't need to go into. That villain no longer exists in that universe anyway. Most of the main characters end up being killed off. I don't know how a sequel would work. It would be entirely brand new characters, and I assume only the Atlas Corporation would be the only thing that's standing. But my logical expectation, if this is going to happen, is that rather than it be a direct sequel, it could instead be a full-on reboot of the Advanced Warfare universe, where we have a new story being told within that universe, but has no real links to what happened with Advanced Warfare. I think that is the best way that they could do it, and sort of reintroduce the concept of Advanced Warfare to what is now a new generation of Call of Duty players, and that way they can build on that as their new sort of sub-franchise of Call of Duty, just like we have with Modern Warfare and Black Ops. Like, Treyarch are never going to stop making Black Ops games, let's be real. This is a hella exciting prospect, because when we think about it, each studio now has their own sort of time setting that works, and with Vanguard, that's the one that did not work, this World War II setting going back in time. Black Ops has this really nice foundation of being slightly in the past, but not too much, whilst Modern Warfare is straight in the modern day. And we don't really want to go back in the past anymore. We want to go to the future. And hopefully that is what Sledgehammer Games are working on, because they have several years to work on this. They have several years from this point onwards to see what the community sentiment is about what their next game should be. But I think we need to be a little bit careful with talking about this, because whilst this is a very exciting rumor, there is no evidence to support that this is true. Made clear by Charlie Intel, who always seem to know something that we don't, saying lots of rumors overnight, be careful what you believe, and then stating about this unverified rumor that Advanced Warfare 2 is coming in 2025, saying they cannot confirm this at all. It also seems unlikely Activision won't give Treyarch's 2024 game a 2-year cycle, which I also agree with. With the Ghost of Hope replying, saying what he's heard and can corroborate is that Sledgehammer is working on a successor to Advanced Warfare, and as far as he's aware, Treyarch are getting a 2-year cycle on their game, so he disagrees with that part of the leak from Ralph, given what he's heard. Looking overall at Advanced Warfare and what it done well, the movement system was absolutely fantastic, and also the multiplayer maps on that game were really good. The game graphically looked really good. It had some awesome weapons aside from everything to do with supply drops. But imagine Warzone 3 with advanced movement. A map made specifically for advanced movement in Warzone would actually be quite insane to see. To me, it seems like there is no other choice of game that they can make apart from Advanced Warfare, or something completely different that is set in the modern or future time setting. They absolutely cannot go back anymore. Let me know what you think about this rumor down below in the comment section. I'm sure you guys have a lot to say, but if you want to see it, be sure to thumbs up the video, share it around, and you can watch another video on your screen right now.